I'm more than a rare exception, you can't compare him. I'm fly as Tuskegee Airman. My patience is as thin as her pins. You find a sucker cat that's talking smack and I'll just dare him. Come at me sideways attacking, I'm pushing back.
Alright, we already knew this was coming. They are extremely angry at your boy Phillip Brooks, aka the Punker, aka CM Punk. They are extremely mad at him. And you already know why. Because CM Punk is headed to good old Saudi Arabia to wrestle John Cena for the WWF Championship. And this world cannot stand it. Transgender rights and pro-Palestine activist CM Punk twerks that ass in Saudi Arabia for a company with conservative values run by Zionist TKO. Yes, the very conservative values of TKO, which of course include what? What is the conservative values of TKO? Now, it might be run by tiny hats. That part might be true. But what conservative values do they have? I'll leave that to you guys because I don't know what they have. Thing for almost no one, apparently, CM Punk is going to wrestle in Saudi Arabia. And as one of the guys who kept liking him until very recently, I hope he uses his blood money to buy more property to landlord out so he can ignore this pain inside where his beliefs apparently once were. He is genuinely a pathetic loser and deserves whatever brain rot he has that ends up with almost everyone hating him. Is this normal? Like, I can't think of at any point in time where my favorite wrestler did something that I don't like and I flipped on him to this degree. I just don't. It's never happened, actually. The most upsetting thing my favorite wrestler has ever done is when Randy Savage had the nerve to die. That was it. That's it. I mean, I can't think of anything else. I don't care who people vote for. I don't care who they have sex with. You know, like, sometimes they make bad decisions, but I don't remember ever getting this upset about what a wrestler does outside the ring. Let's continue. Not gonna lie, I'm not doing accountability politics with y'all. I'm positive CM Punk isn't the only person on that roster with reserves around going to Saudi. He's just the one who was verbal about it so he can get clowned. This they job call everybody a soul-selling evil bastard or stop talking I don't know. I mean, this guy had a stroke in the middle of this. I'm not sure entirely what he was trying to say. But nice to know that he's not playing accountability politics with y'all. I used to be the biggest CM Punk fan. This final run between his behavior in AEW, yes, there's lots of BS on several sides, not just his, and going crawling back to WWE that I could gloss over. Him doing a Saudi show, CM sunk to new lows. CM sunk. You get it? Not Punk, but sunk. You know, like falling down. Oh my good God. He went crawling back, guys. Through the muck and the mire. Through the blood and the fire. From the window to the wall. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Apparently, there is amount of money to force Punk into a Saudi story, I guess. Even if he doesn't wrestle there, making a storyline from his prior position on Saudi feels gross and like a betrayal to what he said he stood for. Nothing more punk rock than selling out your values. Yes, those punk rock values, such as doing drugs and dying before 30 and getting neck and face tattoos, all of which he's already done. I can't think of any punk rock values that matter. Seek Jesus. Next, people are blasting CM Punk for being a hypocrite and working the Saudi blood money show, but Larry is getting older now, and maybe it was his lifelong dream to visit the Riyadh Sports Arena Did you ever think about that? That ugly ass little dog. Larry is getting older. Wants to go on a trip to Saudi Arabia, I bet. Continuing. This CM Punk Saudi thing really shows you how polarizing Punk really is. Some on here are screaming he's a hypocrite. Others defend anything he does. He's not a hypocrite. He's just a dude that's done what a lot of us have. Said something on social media they shouldn't have years ago. He's just doing his job. If they asked you to go to Saudi, you go too. And you wouldn't, and you're lying if you say you wouldn't. There's a lot of people who say they wouldn't go get that jab. They got it to save their job. I can tell you that much. But I think this is probably a very reasonable post. You know, he made a comment 5 years ago, and apparently he apologized to Miz for it. I didn't see the apology. It's not like it matters. But apparently he backtracked on the comment. But you know, once you say something once, you got to stick to it forever. Apparently, I don't know. But I'm not really a big CM Punk fan anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and let him get what he's got coming to him for courting this audience. CM Punk deserves his lashings for being a hypocrite. But I don't believe you can be leftist at the WWE. You eventually have to portray your morals. I also don't see a massive difference between the American government and the Saudi Arabian. Okay. That's... despite all the Muslimisms, I guess, and you know, the allowing women to drive and vote and not having to wear hijabs. I mean, I guess they're the exact same, I suppose. There's no real difference between the two. Next, CM Punk main eventing a Saudi show against John Cena with a 2-week build just to lose is hilarious. He really came back simply to do the same shit he was doing when he left and tossing all that self-righteous bullshit out the window. Blood money is cool when you get it. The amount of people who are doing the A-Rap money, I wish I could play some of those videos without getting a copyright strike. But one of them has got CM Punk on 2K25 and a hijab. And it's hilarious. I wish I could put it in there. But it got the Busta Rhymes song playing. I don't want to get copyright strike. But it's absolutely phenomenal. I might put it in the Discord so everybody can see it. Been thinking about this CM Punk Saudi thing. And while I cannot help but feel somewhat disappointed, I have arrived at CM Punk doesn't owe me or you a damn thing. He's the one putting his body on the line and putting in the hours. We can't presume to tell him where to work. Who the fuck are we? I mean, this guy got so defensive of CM Punk, he cussed himself out. He in the mirror like, who the fuck do you think you are being disappointed, bro? Like, hey, you could just chill at any point in time. You could let this go whenever you feel like it, you know? Next, if I was still a teenager, I'd probably be, like, disappointed in CM Punk going to the Saudis. But now I can only laugh. Unironically portrayed himself as a holier-than-thou man of principle for years. Oh, he got us good. What's next? Heroin? Oh, because he's going to get on a flight to go to Saudi Arabia. Next thing you know, he's going to be in his hotel room freebasing. These people are ridiculous, bro. They're ridiculous. Here's the next one. I am probably one of the biggest CM Punk stans out there. I've been a die-hard fan since I was 12, and I'm about to be 31. I will continue to be obsessed with him, but I can also say I'm extremely disappointed that he's going to Saudi. I hope in some weird way this is a work. Even though I'm still a fan and will always be a fan, I can't help but be really disappointed and find it very hypocritical that he's going. And this is a massively overweight individual of Arabic descent who has like several Palestine flags in the bio. Have mercy, Jesus. All right, next. Bret Hart cried about Bill Goldberg injuring him so he couldn't get a Saudi payday. So logically, CM Punk has to go get one and bring it back to his father like it's a trophy fish. It's actually going to probably be more like when your dog go grab something out of the yard and bring it to you for no reason. It's probably going to be something like that. He's going to bring Bret an already cashed check. This one's for you, buddy. Next. All right, you baby brains. Let me break this down for you real simple. The person wrestling John Cena in Saudi Arabia is CM Punk, the character. CM Punk, the real actual person, aka Phil Brooks, stands up for his convictions and will always be my hero. You talk about this guy being delusional. How could CM Punk go to Saudi Arabia without Phil Brooks going to Saudi Arabia? Answer that question. I guess his physical body is not going to be there. It's going to be the character. So like sheets of paper and drawings and such. No, he's taking his dumb ass to Saudi Arabia. What are you talking about? It's just the character going. It's not like Phil Brooks himself would actually go. I mean, come on. What are you talking about here? What? That's got to be the craziest amount of cope I've ever heard. What kind of cope is this? CM Punk's morality about Saudi Arabia and the Middle East is as real as his fake feminism. He doesn't care about anyone other than himself. He just uses causes to get people to call him a good person to distract from how many issues he's caused in the wrestling industry. CM Punk is a virtue signaler and he's a fake leftist. You know, that might actually be true. I don't put it past him. You know, CM Punk's been a dipshit for a really, really long time. And I'm not surprised at all people don't want to call him out now. But it's unfortunate that it takes for him to fall out with the LGBT Hangman group and all them guys before people started noticing how shitty Punk is. It's like I noticed he was shitty when he was getting into it with AJ Styles. Like, what? This was stupid. It was like in 2021. It was the dumbest thing in the world. And everybody was like, yeah, you know, AJ's kind of racist, man. He's from Georgia. Like, what are you talking about? He didn't do anything. Like, he got called a racist for not, you know, engaging in Black Lives Matter activism or whatever. And that's when I kind of lost a lot of respect for CM Punk. Like, I already didn't like him, but I lost a lot of respect for him right then and there. But now, everybody's like, well, sure, he out of nowhere called AJ Styles a racist way back in the gap. This was 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. I guess they're good now because they seem to have fun on Raw wrestling each other. But that goes to show how different the world is. He called AJ Styles a racist. AJ called him irrelevant. And then they wrestled on Raw a couple of years later. Funny how times change. Here's another one. I can't believe CM Punk is willing to wrestle in a country where abject horrors are happening on a daily basis. Plus, I just heard he is now wrestling in Saudi Arabia. Ba-dum-dum. We get it. USA bad. America bad. You're a bad, bad boy, United States. You're not perfect. You're not a communist country, so you're bad. You should be ashamed of yourself. CM Punk is officially wrestling in Saudi Arabia. He's officially the biggest hypocrite in the world. These people this meant everything to them. CM Punk being the moral arbiter of pro wrestling means everything to these people. Whatever. I don't know why everyone is crying. The man said he was here for the money. I'm sure the blood will wash off of it eventually. That's a good one. That's a good one. But wait a minute. He's not being paid by the Saudis. He's being paid by WWE. Is WWL? Yeah, it's money laundering. So The money is bloody when it's given to TKO. They're going to wash it in their bank and then give it to Phil, and it's going to be perfectly clean. See that? I figured it out. That's how it works. If you've told me 15 years ago that CM Punk and Hank Hill would sell out to Saudi Arabia in the same year, I wouldn't have believed you. You know, that King of the Hill reboot is bothering me. Bothers me a lot, actually. Especially that Nancy Gribble, John Redcorn thing. How can you renege on one of the biggest character arcs you did throughout the entire series? I got a lot to talk about when it comes to that King of the Hill stuff. But it won't be now. Next, Blood Money Dick on a Pole match. See, this is what happens when you say weird things to people. They never forget it. And they use it against you. Jesus H. Christ. In light of this tragedy, I will no longer be continuing my 2025 CM Punk monthly letterbox profile picture change and will be transitioning to Tom Cruise. I don't know what that means. I don't think I'm supposed to know what that means. At CM Punk, you're a loser and a sellout. Fuck you, Uggo. He called you an Uggo like he's a teenage girl. I'm sure his feelings was decimated behind that. Next one. No way to defend this based on his previous comments. I love CM Punk, but damn, this is absolutely shameful. It's shameful. He's ashamed of you, Phil. You should be ashamed of yourself. Next, Jungle Boy saying Cry Me a River is where he draws the line. One of the fakest people in wrestling. He went back to the rapist that killed his love for pro wrestling and almost killed him. And now he participates in propaganda for Saudi Arabia while already wealthy as fuck. CM Punk. Well, I mean, yeah, he missed out on almost 10 years of paydays. He's trying to catch up. I mean, he can't do this forever. He's trying to catch up. Holy shit. Bruh, this sucks. He was the one guy who was there that stayed away from the blood money. This is some Vince level shit. Yeah, here, have the main event place and a title shot. Go ahead, Cena, but you gotta do it in Saudi show. I don't know, man. These people are insane. They are insane. But I love the CM Punk defenders too, because they're just as nutty. Here's this one. Saudi Arabia is a theocratic monarchy, and most people don't have a choice what their government does. But most Western democracies are still funding the genocide of the Palestinian people. Just like your government doesn't represent you, same goes for the Saudis. CM Punk fights for us. He fights for us, guys. No, he's fighting for a check, man. There's the extra adventure of going somewhere you've never gone in front of an audience who's never seen you and probably only heard about you. There's some benefit to that, but ultimately, he's going for the paycheck, my guy. And I don't. Well, at least you make a good point about governments. You are not your government. Your government does what they want to do, whether you want them to do it or not. Ha 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 ha. Hope he likes the taste of blood. What a hypocrite. All the fake laughing was actually in the tweet. I think they knew people would be all over him for this, so why not allude to that fact? And now the match has been made officially, so there's two options. If he goes, fuck him. If he gets out of it, fuck WWE. And I know who WWE would rather people criticize. Yeah, themselves, I guess. Why would they care about you criticizing CM Punk? They don't give a shit. None of these people care about any of the stuff you're talking about. Again, these Saudi shows have been going on since 2018, man. It's 2025. You're going to have to get over it. Like, did Saudi Arabia fuck your mom? and just leave her pregnant or something? Like, why do you holding such a grudge? Why do you care? If you own a CM Punk t-shirt, I'm coming to your house in a Ford F-150 and I'm doing donuts on your fucking lawn. That's literally how the tweet is written. A Ford F-150. Not bad. At least it's not some electric thing. You don't care too much about the environment, do you, my liberal friend? Why don't you go get yourself a Cybertruck and try to do donuts on my lawn? If you bring a Cybertruck in this neighborhood, good luck. I don't have to worry about that though, because I don't have any CM Punk t-shirts, so he's not gonna do donuts on my lawn. I do have CM Punk wristbands though, back from when from like 2012, when I bought the DVD set. They came with wristbands, and I still have them in the package too. I love CM Punk, but he sure is a hypocrite if the check clears. Well, that's most people. Most people are only as loyal and upright as the check. The check matters. The check matters a lot. Next, Hangman tried to tell us. The Bucks tried to tell us. Jack Perry tried to tell us. CM Punk, or CM, I will not call you Punk anymore, is the biggest fraud. And so far from Punk, it's crazy. CM Punk, you are a shell of what you used to be. You're a shell of yourself. Well, he is a shell of what he used to be. But at least he's not skinny fat anymore. I can give him credit for that. He at least got that shit together. He looked like he worked at Costco when he first started wrestling. It's amazing that's everybody's favorite version of CM Punk is when he looked like he stacked boxes for Amazon. CM Punk is one of the biggest frauds in history. Damn shame. Oh, now they just calling him a fraud. Time to suck today's blood money covered dick. They just making up. I mean, they just taking those words and throwing them in any sort of order. They just tossing them up. Got a toss salad of fucking words now. It's just insanity. I mean, it's sick. CM Punk is a hypocrite, but to be honest, if you didn't know that by now, then you shouldn't be surprised nor really care what he went back on his word. And that's what his word, meaning he went back to WWE. Which they was very mad about that too, which we already know that's been archived in history. Maybe the blood money covered dicks was the ones we sucked along the way. You know what? What is this we stuff? What is this we? No, not we, because I'm involved in we, and I'm not that. Maybe you, young person. Well, it is a woman. Okay. Maybe you should suck a blood money covered dick. He's probably been in a better mood. I'm so glad I've never put anyone on a pedestal the way hardcore Punk fans do to him. But I feel for them. I don't. Fuck these people. Why are you worshiping this goofball? I told you guys 4 years ago, stop worshiping CM Punk. He's a goof. He's a goof. Watching people be shocked by this is like when people were shocked that CM Punk was a cancer in AEW. Punk has a long history of being a holier-than-thou hypocrite. He's a perennial virtue signaler and egomaniac. Only dumbasses buy his super fake I'm a good guy act. I mean, this guy doubled down. I think I just read one of his comments earlier. He's doubling and tripling down on this motherfucker. I mean, goddamn, he feels very passionate about this. Extremely passionate. This means something to him. Calling yourself Punk, wearing a Ramon shirt, claiming to be for the people and not TKO while working for TKO, and even just teasing a match in Saudi Arabia with the Vince McMahon apologist is simply fantastic. I don't know, maybe he should just go find a hole and crawl in it. That way he can live life like everybody else, I guess. This is strange. These people need to stop. They need to be stopped. Jonathan Snowden, pretty good writer. He reposted his 2022 article on CM Punk. I'm not even going to read this thing, but it basically, I'm going to read the headline. Now, I think we went through this article before, but it's from September of 2022. This thing is almost 3 years old, brother. Welcome to the miserable world of CM Punk. And it's basically all about how CM Punk has done nothing for wrestling, and he's jealous of the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and Hangman Page for doing what he only talked about doing. Is like, well, yeah, he didn't have access to a billionaire in order to launch his own wrestling promotion and push his friends. Sorry. Look, it got me defending the fucking guy. Come on. I don't want to defend Phil. I want to bury him. I want to kick some more dirt on him. That's what I want to do. Let's find some more dirt to kick on his ass. Let's talk about this here. Let's face his facts. Punk is a great wrestler at the end, but the whole idea of him being social warrior falls out the window when he admitted to the world he wanted bag over friends. Now, wait a second. Wait 1 second. To Philip's defense, big bags of cash tend not to betray you. Meanwhile, friends do. Big bags of cash don't try to use you. Friends do. Big bags of cash don't sue you. Friends do. This guy wrote like 6 paragraphs. Okay, it's a whole lot. All right, I'm not going to go into it a whole lot because most of it is him trying to work through his feelings. We're just going to get to this part right here. Punk is directly being paid the same blood money he cursed others for having. You can't say you support Palestine, then go behind everyone's back and wrestling in a country you have openly criticized others for wrestling in, while they behead journalists and set back women's rights. Saudi and Palestinian relations are confusing, but I know for sure that if Saudi Arabia truly supported Palestinian rights, they wouldn't engage in the sanctions that Israel is guilty of themselves. You can admit that Phil is wrong on this one. You can admit WWE bringing real life shitty situations in this country into a storyline is also wrong. Okay, sure. But why are we talking like Palestine is some kind of bastion of progressivism? Where does this come from? Palestine, as far as I know, is a Muslim territory. What's the difference? Is Hamas all of a sudden okay with gays? Hamas is okay with women telling them what to do? Those would be the most progressive Muslims I've ever heard. Where did he get the idea that these Palestinians are all of a sudden the most progressive Muslims on planet Earth? Because I haven't yet to find any information that verifies that they are. You can feel however you want to feel about it, but most Muslim countries, they have a similar degree of control over their societies in terms of the hijabs and, women's place in society. It doesn't seem to differ too much from Saudi Arabia to Qatar to Iran to Iraq. It's not that big of a gulf. It might be stricter in some places over other places, but for the most part, if they operate out of the same book, they're going to get the same outcome. Enough about Muslims. Let's move on. Punk is obviously one of those guys who pretends to care about women's rights just so he can get into their pants. Yeah, he seems to have an art hoe fetish. And, art hoes are really easy for, you play the feminist game. That you just sit next to them and you got your little tattoos and, you just tell them what they want to hear. The way he treats you is so wrong, And then once you get over the fact that once she gets over eventually that you're not gay, maybe you'll have a chance, maybe. This one is actually a wonderful cherry on top. I'm not sure you're going to be able to top this one. And, it makes me smile just looking at it. It's so ridiculous. Look in my eyes, what do you see? A hypocrite sucking blood money. Dick in Saudi. What a bum. This was pretty good. I couldn't get the melody right. I tried 3 times, but it ain't gonna work. That's the best you got. CM Punk may or may not be a sellout, but plans could change. Well, who is he selling out? That's what I want to know. Who is he selling out? I don't get it. Who's the victim here? This is going to be the last one because this article is on Bleeding Cool. It is an entire article with for some reason this individual wrote an article that actually has this thing has emojis all up through it. I mean, it looked like it was written by a little boy, but it's written by somebody called Chad McMahon, likely no relation to the McMahon family. CM Punk to abandon morals again for Saudi Arabian blood money. I'm going to skip through this thing and we're going to skip through this thing, but we're going to hit some of the high points. For those who need a refresher, back when CM Punk was being an immature crybaby who hated WWE and was feuding with The Miz on Twitter, he made some very unprofessional comments about Saudi Arabia and blood money. But now that Triple H and WWE are paying CM Punk millions of dollars, he's wisely chosen to put his personal politics aside and do what's best for business. This is exactly how a real wrestler should behave. Money talks and principles walk. Again, there's all kind of emojis up and through this thing. It is hard to read. It's very distracting. We're going to skip ahead. He's going to say, what really impresses the chatster is how Punk has completely abandoned his so-called principles for the good of the wrestling business. Despite his outspoken political views, he has no problem working for a company whose leadership maintains a close relationship with WWE Hall of Famer and President Donald Trump. And now he's willing to overlook Saudi Arabia's human rights record and his own past tweets to wrestle there. If WWE offered him enough money, Punk would probably give up being straight edge and start chugging Hulk Hogan's Real American beer. The Chaster is so proud of him for this evolution. This is in stark contrast to the immature wrestlers in AEW like Hangman Adam Page, who actually try to practice what he preaches. That kind of stubborn adherence to personal beliefs shows that Page doesn't understand a single thing about the wrestling business. Real wrestlers like Punk know that money and career advancement should always come before silly things like morals and consistency. I'm not going to read the rest of it if that's enough. Look, if I'm going to say this about Hangman Page, if he really believed what he says he believed, he would not be married to a woman with a child. Take that for what you will. If you want to rock, rainbows and all that, go live that life. Go live that life. Oh, you're not going to go do it, are you? Oh, okay. So how serious are you really about your support for that lifestyle? It's not for you to go out and get AIDS and all that stuff. It's for somebody else. Okay. All right. Your wife can get pregnant, huh? Oh my goodness. So you have a real woman. Oh, trans rights are human rights, I heard. Trans women are women, I heard. That's what you believe, is it? But you're not dating one. Okay. It's funny how that always works out. That's all great for you and all the degeneracy. It's all great for you. I love it for you. But for me, I'm just going to live my, conservative lifestyle with my one wife and my one kid. And I may drive an electric car, but for the most part, I'm going to live conservative as fuck while espousing all this leftist shit for everybody else to gobble up like pigs. Because that's how moral people live. Anyway, let's wrap this up. CM Punk, blood money, penises, feel how you want to feel. I don't think he cares. I don't care either. And then, of course, there's some people who are holding out hope. He might not actually go. He might stay. They might write him off the show. Yeah, they might. But even if they do, all of this stays. All of this stays. None of this goes away. People are still mad, and they still said these things about him, which means they still feel about this way about him, even if he doesn't go. So, like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
No one does it better.